Good afternoon, everybody. Big Dog Northeast Colorado Storm Chasers live with you at 3 p.m. on January 3rd, 2025. Again, Happy New Year for those of you uh, who have not been told by me or by anyone. Hoping you're having a great 2025. It's hard to believe it's a quarter of a century, a quarter of the 21st century we've gone through. So it's pretty impressive to see that I've been a part of that in my life. So we are live on a couple of platforms, just so everybody knows. So given just a few moments of everybody's time to join us, and also checking for sound to make sure our sound works good. I apologize for my throat. I last night I couldn't even talk at all. I had a sore throat already. I went to the Avs game, of course, came home with no voice, and today it's just been pretty rough uh, trying to get around with uh, very little of a voice. So I'm gonna try my best to do. I've got the microphone on to assist to make sure it goes. And if anybody's ever interested in any of this stuff, this is pretty cool stuff. This is what I use. It's called Hollyland. They're a great microphone company that we use. I've purchased them for my school too, and they come in a little pack like this, and it's pretty impressive. You can put your microphones on, and you can run wireless lapels, and technology is so impressive the way it works. So let's dive right into it. Okay, we've got a lot going weather-wise, and I want to keep everybody informed. This could take 15 to 20 minutes, so hopefully you have that time. So let me share my screen with you guys real quick. I'm going to hide myself. Connected. How about now, guys? I don't know what's going on. I literally just had sound when I tested everything just a little bit ago. And it could be because I got up and moved. It might have. There we go. There we go. Okay. Because I got up and moved. It might have. There we go. Okay. I could hear my sound again, so I know you guys can hear me now. So let's bounce back. Can you hear me now? Well, that's sure frustrating. So you guys didn't even hear the dogs barking, which is good. Most of this forecast has been the dogs barking, which has been driving me nuts. So we're good. So, okay, let's continue on. So let's talk about that dense fog advisory again. There it is. As you can see, the dense fog advisory, 46 degrees temperature. We're going to see that fog rolling in tonight. As you can see, the fog advisory is going to be in Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado, northeastern Colorado. And I'll show you those maps here. As you saw in the weather summary, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so it looks like everything's still going. Okay, so I'm hoping that it's back. Yep. Okay. I always do it. Now I got it. Now I'm all scared because I'm afraid the sound's gone, but it's there, so I'm still showing it. So I appreciate it. Okay. Don't know what happened. It must have disconnected when the dogs were driving me nuts. So again, I apologize. So let's look at the probability of snowfall, 2 to 3 inches. I think that's a little underestimating. I think there's a chance we're going to see a little bit more. I think there is going to be a potential for some ice tonight. It's not showing much on here, obviously, because it's going to be a trace of ice, I think. But I do think that is definitely a possibility for us here in northeastern Colorado. And there's that ice that I was talking about. Here's that ice accumulation. You can see it rolling itself in the next 18 hours and backing in over us. Okay, and then you can see the snowfall totals I was talking about. Again, if you're in northeastern Colorado, you're going to see this one on the Euro. This Euro model shows that snowfall a little bit heavier here in northeastern Colorado. And then you can see out here in the parts of Kansas. And that storm is farther south here, as you can see, versus the other model that shows a little bit farther north. And again, I think it wraps that moisture around still. So I think we're still in that area of 6 to 8 inches of snow, possibly in this area. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it sneak a little bit farther northeast in northeastern Colorado. So if you're in these areas in the next few days, that is a possibility. Let's look at that freezing rain accumulation. This has me concerned. If you're traveling eastbound I 70, I would really use a lot of caution. If you have uh, friends or family who are truck drivers and drive this road a lot, you may want to have them rethink about their travel. Guys, this is a big, big swath of snow that you're looking at. Look at this, 3/10 of an inch. I mean, a quarter inch of ice is thick. And now you're thinking 3/10 of an inch, and you can see up to 3/4 of an inch of ice here going into Missouri, folks. This is bad. This is a bad amount of ice. This is going to cause power outages. You're going to see lines going down. You're going to see tree line. I mean, you're just going to see a lot of power outages, bad road conditions, treacherous travel conditions. So I recommend not to travel on I 70 eastbound. I would not be surprised to see that line slightly farther west here than what it's showing. So do keep that in mind if you travel eastbound. Let's look at the national map. I think this is pretty interesting to look at. This is the overview. There they are. Where are I just had it all pulled up. There we go. There's my hazards. So check this out. This is pretty interesting. Look at this colorful map. This is showing all the watches and warnings in the United States. Winter storm warning right here. Right here. That's where that big snow storm is going to really kick itself going, and it's going to send that wraparound moisture back to us. Because of that, that southwest, or excuse me, that moisture wrapping around, I think you're going to see some more chances of fog. Look at that fog line all the way from northern part of northwestern panhandle of Nebraska all the way down into northeastern Colorado. So that's a pretty big fog line there, folks. So if you're traveling I 80, I 76, I use lots of caution as you're traveling through that area. Winter storm, excuse me, these are winter storm watches here. I think Kentucky is going to be in there too, Josh. If you're paying attention, that's going to be you to be careful for. Josh Hart is one of our big followers. These are winter weather advisories here, as you can see, and it's just going to be pretty dangerous. And these are actually, I think these are wind chill warnings and wind chill advisories up this way. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. Again, I apologize for my voice, everybody. I'm fighting this like crazy. Let's go a few days out and check this out. Here's that severe weather that's going to break out as well. So if you have any family or friends in the southeast, I think Dixie Alley is going to pick up again when it comes to severe weather. So make sure that everybody has a plan of action in that southeast. I wouldn't be surprised to see a tornado or two pop out on these storms, especially in Louisiana, in that Louisiana, eastern Texas, Louisiana area again that got hit last week. Would not be surprised to see that happen again. Okay, so let's take a look at the weather summary. I wanted to show you this one next too. Obviously, dense fog advisory, visibility quarter to half mile with dense fog for Collins, Boulder, western suburbs of Denver, Brigsdale, Greeley, for Morgan, Sterling, Akron, from 1 tonight until 10 o'clock tomorrow. Wouldn't be surprised to see that start a little bit earlier too. So if you have any reports of fog, let us know so and we can get that passed on to the weather service if anybody has any severe fog in your areas. Okay, slow down. Don't use those brights. Use only your headlights only. Leave plenty of distance between you and the next car. I cannot stress that enough, folks. That is probably one of the biggest things is seeing car crashes out there. As you can see here, there's the big storm they were talking about. I think things are going to get rapidly developing. Um, you're going to see, like I said, that dense fog it's talking about here. But I do think that's all going to turn into snow here a little bit later on as this upslope flow continues to bring in that moisture that they were talking about. They were saying 1 to 3 inches here, but again, I think it's going to be maybe just a little bit more if you get in a spot where the snow gets stuck over northeastern Colorado. Let's talk about some winter weather maps to help you out. CoTrip. If you use CoTrip, this will help you out a bunch. This is for the state of Colorado. If you travel, you just slide in, drag your little cursor there, and it'll tell you all about your road conditions using CoTrip. Okay, so these are all winter weather advisories they're talking about. So anybody in here in the winter, and I just threw in brush to Denver to show you what it looked like here. Okay, so don't think that that means anything. This is just where I set the trip. Okay, so you can see that you can click on all these layers. You can click on cameras, which I love the most. If you click on the camera section, it'll actually pop up the cameras for you and show you the interstates. You just click on it and boom, it'll tell you what you can see the camera. Obviously, if there's fog, you're not going to see much, but I am letting you know at least you have that capability. Okay, let's go to Nebraska. For those folks that live in Nebraska, you're going to use NDOT. Okay, this is 511.nebraska.gov is the one you want to use for you folks. And obviously, there's the fog advisory for you. And you just click on the same thing that they have. It looks like it's pretty much the same program that we have here in Colorado. Great one to use as well. I think this is going to be a rough area of travel tonight as well, this south central part of Nebraska. And then for those of you that live in Kansas, it's KDOT. Okay. Obviously, it makes sense. So there you go. There's the same thing. You could click on theirs as well and find out any links they have. And that's at candrive.gov, KAN drive.gov, and you can click on theirs and that'll tell you all about their road closures. People are going to go, what about Wyoming? Easy, it's YDOT, WYDOT is YDOT, and they have great information for you. So with that being said, I figured it out why it locked me out, because when I clicked hide on stream, it actually mutes my mic. So that's why I figured it out finally. This whole system. So can you tell? Can you tell I'm still not tech savvy on this program? I'm still learning it more. It's called Talk Studio at streamlabs.com. So taking some questions now in chat. Obviously, most of the chat's going to say can't hear you, no sound, and I apologize. But now people can hear me, so I feel a lot better. Does anybody have any questions that I can take right now? A lot of people have asked me about, what's going to be happening and things like that. So I do want to know if there's any questions. I'll take them right now. So thank you for those that sent me the comments. It means so awesome. It means so much to me to hear that you are keeping me on my toes, because I'm a terrible weather guy when it comes to figuring out the sound. I went 9 minutes of nothing. 9 minutes of dead air. That was just fantastic. Okay, questions about travel. Questions about travel. I can help you out right now. I got the comments open so I can see them on the screen. So I am going to take it. If you have any questions for me, folks, I've had a lot of people ask about questions. I started the stream on time. I had no sound for 10 minutes. That was awful of me again. Abe, I told you I'm not very good at this, but I have figured it out. When I click hide on stream, it mutes my mic. So I'm never going to hide myself on stream again. Okay. So 15 followers. Thank you for you that have followed us. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry about my voice. It's terrible. So questions, travel questions, concerns. You're absolutely welcome. Again, I'm sorry, Angie, that it took 9 minutes for me to figure out I had no sound, but yeah. Akron. John, I think you're going to be in that thick fog tonight. I really do. I think you're going to see some dense fog in the Akron area. Um, Unfortunately, I think that there could be an interesting play if it becomes freezing fog. I do think that moisture is going to slide itself to from east to west, so it could get into the Akron area. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some spotty portions of ice accumulations out there. So be careful if you're in the Akron area. That's one thing I would be concerned about. Brighton for Sunday afternoon. I think you're going to be okay. I think by then everything moves itself out. So I do think by Sunday things are going to get better. As I recall looking at the forecast for Sunday, it still says there is a slight chance of snow, but I think things are really wrapping themselves up by Sunday. So I don't see much. The next one moves in on Monday for us, unfortunately. We'll get another round of snow. But I'm telling you, the difference is the cold air. Got to get back to the cold. We're going to see single digits in the next few days also. So single digits. So get ready for the single digit temperatures on that. You're welcome, Don. No problem. Fleming. Fleming, you're kind of in that little area that could be a lot or a little. I think Morgan County and Weld County are right now in the main slot, but I think the storm could slide itself just a little bit further east. I'm looking at my camera, it goes the opposite direction. It may slide itself just a little bit further east. So if it does that, I think you're going to get a little bit more moisture. It did say there was some uncertainty in the northeast corner of the state. Reading that, so I do think that's a possibility for Fleming that you guys could get, in that 3 to 6 range. But again, some places might get up a little bit more because just where things are setting up and how it just starts banding itself. And snow bands are not fun. As we know, if we get a band of snow, it can dump 1 to 2 inches in an hour of snowfall. And now you're going, what the heck? Same with Pete's. I think you're kind of in that area and you're closer to Nebraska. I think you're going to be dealing with the fog too, just like everybody else is out here. And I also think you're kind of in that buffer zone. So wouldn't be surprised to see you at the 3 to 6. But again, if you get a good band of snow over you, you're going to get that little bit more amount of snow for you out in Pete's. So hopefully you don't. But I hate to say hopefully you don't, because I just don't want the travel conditions. But by God, we need the moisture out here in this northeast corner of the state. So I'm going to take what we can get. So every little bit of moisture helps. So good questions. Good one. Anybody else? I'm staying on just a little bit longer for questions. We're at 23 minutes, and you're welcome, Tiffany. No problem. We're going to try to be out doing some live drives. If the road conditions are good, we'll try to do some live drives. Obviously, if the roads are really bad, we'll just travel locally here in town. I'm going to keep Abe in his local areas as well to make sure he's safe, because I just don't want to put us out on the roads and make us a risk factor for anybody. So we'll see. Krista, I hope I answered your question. I just saw your question pop up too for Fleming amount. I hope that gives you some information. You bet, Sarah. Again, I'm sorry for my voice, everybody. I'm going to get over this. Absolutely, we do. I know, I thought about the same thing, Angie. I really have thought over and over. Maybe I should throw some water on, but my luck, that'd be the night I water, and then it decides to like freeze up really bad. So, and now that we're going into the single digits here in northeastern Colorado, I do think that's going to be super, super cold for our lawns, and they're probably going to be like hibernating pretty good by now. So single digits, guys. Make sure you bundle up everybody in the next few days. If you get any wind factors in here as well, it's going to make those temperatures below zero. Wouldn't be surprised to see the valley where we live here in Morgan County. to see temperatures in the low single digits, maybe even getting close to zero, that zero mark, or below zero. So we'll see what happens. Still got about a couple seconds more before I wrap up. Just want to make sure anybody else. I know we got some late followers on, so I want to make sure I get questions answered. Okay, make sure to spread the word. Tell people drive if they need to in the next 24 hours, especially with the fog moving in. And again, use lots of caution. No cruise control. No bright lights. Keep all those things in factor when you're traveling. And such a farther distance away, stopping distance. Nothing drives me crazier right now to see so many people tailgating, and I probably am guilty of it at times. But sometimes people get too close, and then they hit that dense fog, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do. And if it becomes just a little bit glazed over with ice, you're just nothing but trouble for a crash. So it's something you got to think about. I think, Toby, that fog's going to be setting in. I honestly think it's going to be earlier. It's saying 1 o'clock tonight, or 1 o'clock overnight tonight, but I think it's going to be a lot earlier. I'm going to guess, if I had my guess, I'd say between 9 and 10, kind of like last night when we left Denver. We noticed that fog rolling in a little bit earlier than they thought. So I think it's going to be just a little bit earlier. It depends where you are too. Last night the fog rolled in from north to south. So if you're in the northern part of like we were last night, if you're in the far northern parts of the county, it kind of slowly rolled its way in and came in. So it just depends, how farther south you are. Good question on the fog. Anything else? It was a way long weather briefing. It would have only been 20 minutes if I wouldn't have gone blank for 9 minutes. And again, guys, I'm so sorry for the sound, but I figured it out finally. After everybody had told me what was going on, I was looking on my screen and said, I figured it out. So at least I've got it now. Okay. Well, that's it for today. I hope that helps fill you all in. Be safe out there. We're going to try to get some live drives out there with everybody and keep you all posted. If we get some pretty good fog rolling in tonight and it's early enough, I'll try to get out and show you what we have. But keep us reported of any weather reports in your area too, so that helps us out. All right. Have a great day. Be careful and have a great weekend too. And stay safe. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.